Welcome back, everyone, to the Complete Pineleaf. I am here in the caves of the Avarim, and I have found Dorthonet, who is the elf in charge here, I believe. Hello there, ma'am. Yes?
I am called Dorthaneth, and I have chosen to care for the Arboretum.
I chose to care for the Avarim here as a mother does. These people, they have come to this land to watch over the refuge of Athlon and keep it safe from danger. Danger threatens it now, as you have seen. Men of Umbar have come ashore in great numbers, too many for my few Alvarim to drive away. A guest has lately arrived, and we just spoke about these raiders. Go to him and hear what he has to say, for his news signals trouble for the Alvarim and for the folk of Gondor as well. Oh, more trouble? Do you see him across the way? His name is Galdor, and he has lately arrived from Imladris. Well, I might have run into him at one point or the other. Now, where is... Oh, down there. Alright, I see him. Let's try in this direction then. Assuming that there is a way down here that I can safely traverse. Hard to when you are a hobbit. Hello there, Galdor.
I know your face, for I came to Imladris some months ago and saw you there.
Yes, a council was held at Imladris, and many courses decided, but we will not speak of them here. Know that I hold you in esteem and consider you an ally, and we bear friends in common. Well, at least I don't have to go through a great deal of rep chores in order to get up to ally. It is that sense of kinship that drives me to tell you this. Do not underestimate the Corsair threat. I gave Dorthanus the same warning. In my journey here, I came near to a group of Umbar men and overheard them talk. They spoke in reverent tones of the heirs of Castamere and the Scourge. But it is not these names that fill me with anxiety. No. The flames of my concern is kindled by a passion in which the Umbar men spoke to of their loyalty. Any of them would die in the name of the heirs, and gladly, which is not a trait I have heard associated with that people before now. Something has changed. I will set out my for Mythalon in a few days, but do not forget my warning. So the Corsairs usually aren't fanatical about things, but for some reason they are now. Yes, things are a bit disturbing.
Galdor is right to worry. The men of Umbar have not possessed loyalty like this for years.
Yes, and it was once believed that their people would decline and no longer pose a threat to the neighbors across the bay. I do not believe these heirs of Castamere are truly descended from that king, but I have paid little attention to the histories of Gondor, and could not say for certain. The lives of men are brief. Before many a season is past, they fall, like the leaves of the trees of my home. I have never recorded either. I would be content to remain alone, listening to the sound of the water filling and sighing in the wind of the trees. But as long as the Avrim must remain here, and I will care for them and protect them. There are others, too, with whom I feel a kinship and would safeguard. Interesting. That means she did not arrive with the Avrim, that she was in these caves before then.
Go to Dol Amroth and give Lothiriel my warning.
You must think I speak of leaving this world to its troubles. But even I, with every reason so before me, cannot truly withdraw. I have grown fond of Lothriel, the daughter of the Prince of Dol Amroth, who rules now in his absence. On several occasions she has escaped the watchful eyes of her guard, and came to visit me outside the walls of the city. The matters of which we spoke, not of war, nor armies, nor weapons. They were matters of love and of marriage, for Lothriel is betrothed to the man she does not wish to marry. Such things are a lady's concerned, and I counselled her on them as best I could. But now I must counsel her on these other concerns as well: weapons, armies, and war. I echo the worry of Goldor. She must not underestimate the heirs of Costamere and the one that they call the Scourge. Lothriel's father has been called to war in the east, but war finds her now in the west, and if either is lost, there will be no hope for the other when the night has come. Go to Dol Amroth and give her my warning. These There is elvish blood in her line, but it is no sense of kinship that drives me to this. It is the love I bear for the dark-haired woman who spoke to me of her hopes and her fears when the moon was high over the sea, and banished sadness for a time. Hmm. What else does she have to say?
I'm glad you have come to the cave of the Alvarine.
Yeah, I'm glad you have come, for with the dawn came messages from afar, and one of these concerns you directly. The Lady of Lorien speaks in cryptic words, but I can discern enough to know that you will be able to interpret her wishes. Lady Galadriel speaks of a Gondorian man on an errand he believes important. It has drawn him into the dead marshes by the battle plain of old, and his feet are dogged by servants of the enemy. The Lady of Lorien does not need to express her desire in words for me to know what drives this message. She does want this Gondorian man to draw the attention, does not want to draw the attention of the orcs to that place. The Alvarim keep several fast horses for the personal use, but none so swift as that cared for by our master of horses. Speak to him, and ride to the dead marshes with all the speed that you can muster, and hasten this Gondorian back to his homeland before he causes great harm by his presence there. Alright, so they don't want the enemy looking at the dead marshes due to, of course, this way. Because that is where, of course, a certain number of my kin are going. Hello there. I was asked to take this horse to the dead marshes.
Ride swiftly and at once, if it is the wish of Dorthaneth.
If it is Dorthaneth's wish that you depart in such haste, I will not stand in your way. The steeds of the Alvarim may give even the fabled Myris a close race. If you want to know my opinion, ride swiftly and at once, if it is the wish of Dorthaneth. Then let's go. After a long journey and many miles, I have finally come to the dead marshes. Not a particularly fun and enjoyable place to be, I must say. Hello there.
Hail, stranger! It is good to see a friendly face in this inhospitable land.
I caution you to watch your step, stranger, for I would not want to lose you so quickly beneath this mire. We have only just met. I am Ostamir, son of Ilkamir, and I call the White City my home. From where do you come, my friend? No matter your answer, you are far from home in this place, I wart. Yeah, I am quite far from home, I must admit.
I was sent here by Denethor, the ruling steward of Gondor, on an errand of some importance.
Yes, I was sent here by Denethor, but it was entrusted to me in confidence, and I should not speak of it now. I can tell you that it was a great honor to be selected on this errand, and that Denethor chose me personally, even before Faramir his son. I am certain that a successful end to this endeavor will elevate my stature in the steward's esteem. I evaded a number of orcs on the journey here, but it seems some of them have followed me here. If you are as established an adventurer as you seem, perhaps you could do something about these creatures? They seem to be all over the marshes by now, and they endanger my errand. Ostermere seems to mean no harm, but his presence here could threaten many fortunes. Did Frodo come this way? If he did, I should seek a sign of him while I hasten Ostermere back on his way. So I need to defeat some orcs. Well, I suppose I can take care of that and find out what orders they have. Right? Right. And here's an orc right here. And I toss my javelin straight and true. Well, actually, we didn't nice to go straight in through, wouldn't it? Through the orc, I mean, of course. Orcs in the mire. Defeat orcs in the mire. Wonderful. That means I have to kill twice as many as I was originally planning on killing. Defeated an orc. Yeah. Now, how do I get through here? That was a real nasty business. At least I got some orders from them. Hello there, I found something on one of the orcs.
You found something? Let me see what you found.
This is written in the speech of the orcs, and no reputable man in Gondor ever studied such words. My father never trusted the written word to begin with. Ilkemir was a man of action and of deeds, and I am no different from my sire. But I can tell you this much, even without knowing the words themselves, this parchment contains orders for the orcs. They have been sent to this dreary land much as I have been sent, but for what purpose? Adamir's brow has creased in thought as he considers what gold the orcs might have within the dead marshes, but my worry is deeper than this. Did Frodo come this way, and does the master of the orcs know that? He might be checking for any potential location of the ring, even if he doesn't know where it's at. He could be checking everywhere. Most likely he is.
Explore the swamp, but step with caution. The footing is treacherous.
Oh, wonderful. I am troubled with the presence of the orcs, Pineleaf, and I can tell from your expression that you are as well. Have they come here for the same reason that I have? I dare say they have some fell purpose, quite unlike that of the ruling steward, but still I must ask, how many reasons can there be to come to this miserable land? Well, since I have no idea what Otamir's reason is, I really can't say. I hope the steward isn't looking for the ring. And perhaps you can find some hint of their objectives by exploring this foul swamp, my friend. There are notable places to be found of a certainty, but you must step carefully. Try searching to the north, northwest, and west of my camp, and you may find clues of the orcs' interest there. While you're at it, you might also find the entrances to the orc camp, for I think it's likely to be established one somewhere. Do not go inside it just yet, but we should know where it might be found, wouldn't you say? I will search as well, and meet you back at this place. Walk with caution. I have found the footing to be quite treacherous. Whoa, really? I have? You have? Well, no surprise there. Not at all. North, west, and northwest. See, so that'll be that way, and that way. Not that I have any hope of not getting lost. Well, here up to the north, all I see is a bunch of wood that is fallen down, rotting, and seems to be inviting you to drown under. But nothing of particular interest. That looks like some sort of structure. Perhaps that's the orc camp I'm looking for. Well, maybe not. Well, am I looking for it, or is it just something that's there that I'm going to have to deal with? I mean, looking for it looks like something that I would want to find. Definitely don't want to really find one of those things, but it looks like it is there anyway, and that we're expecting. I assume that's well, someone has to be there because there are banners flying, and banners don't normally fly off of a camp that hasn't been used in a long time. There's certainly a great number of orcs in the area. And it's made with wood. It would have rotted out long ago in these conditions. Something here this way? You found the entrance to the orc camp. Right. Now, he told me not to go inside of it, so I will heed those words for now. Let's explore the swamp a little bit more. Ooh, finally a place where I can see for more than a couple of feet. Ah, but what are these things? Perhaps I should check to see if these are of any interest to the orcs whatsoever. Well, so much for being a clear sight for a while, but certainly closer to being one than anywhere else I've been. Oh, well, unfortunately, it's also a nasty ground for spirits, apparently. No, 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 you're not diving in. You're not diving under the ground. Now, let's see what I can find in here. Anything useful? This rocky crag rises out of the swamp, and a field exposed against the sky. Well, yes, that is one thing. If you're trying to hide in a swamp, it's not a good place to be. Though, personally, I think that the rest of the swamp is an even worse place to be. Nothing but a bunch of insects all around here. Well, I'm getting out of here. I found the orc camp and found nothing else of interest.
This place does play tricks upon the mind, does it not?
Hello, Vern. You've come back? Well, you seem to be having some difficulty in focusing your face, and often shakes his head, as if trying to clear a fogging sensation. Oh, I'm fine, Pineleaf. I just, I saw the oddest things. A treasure, just below the water. I could nearly reach it, but then it seemed to be gone. I remembered that you were expecting to see me again, and I came back to meet you. This place does play tricks on the mind, does it not? Yeah, you should be careful here, which is why it's probably not a good thing for you to be staying here overly long. Just saying.
I trust you. I will tell you the nature of my errand in this miserable land.
I'll tell you the nature of my errand, and perhaps you can better help me to accomplish it, and then return to my home in triumph. I would give anything for this victory, my friend. I guess you'll give anything to get out of here. Good, I'll help you in that. The gratitude of the steward would be much for my family's position. Long ago, the peace of Gondor was threatened by Wainriders from the east, cruel men who rode down their enemies in great wheeled chariots. It is said that Oldenhair, one of the last of the true line of kings, faced the Wainriders in battle on the Great Plain, but was defeated. No sign was ever found of the king or his forces, and Steward Denethor believes that the Wainriders might have driven him into the dead marshes before he perished. You think this is unlikely? I would say so too, but for this. Denethor had a late dream, in which he beheld the banner of the king flying proudly against the night sky. Could it be the banner of Odin here, last of the line of the kings, uh, deceased from Metalhild, an Aryan son? The strange waters of the swamp must have preserved it after all this time, and I must find it and return with it to Minas Tirith. If the orcs have found the king's banner, they might be keeping it in a storage cache in their camp. Return to their camp and search these caches to ensure that they have not. Alright, I will search the caches for the king's banner. I suspect the dream was really showing him the banner of Aragorn as it heads towards Minas Tirith. But I can't be completely sure of this, and I will need to check those caches if I'm going to get Artemir to get out of here. So I will check that in the next episode of The Complete Pineleaf.